Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay! Choo-choo!
Yay indeed, Jimmie, yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. All aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station, punching the tickets, doing it up. Let's get this. We have a wild one today, so we will get to that very quickly. Top of the show. Before we do that, shutupandgivememurder.com right now. New shows added. There is a Thursday show in Seattle. We had a Friday show. Now there's a Thursday and a Friday show.
Right.
And in Portland, the very next night, that's Saturday, we have two shows that evening. We've added a late show. So get in there right now. Also, Cleveland is our very first one, kicking it off. Get your tickets to that.
Going to be
February 10th. We cannot wait. Tickets are going fast, so
they really are.
They really are. Pittsburgh and Detroit, same thing. So shutupandgivememurder.com, patreon.com/crime and sports. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Get all your bonus stuff. Anybody $5 or above. The cost of about, like 8 eggs right now. So not much at all. Get in there. You're going to get the whole back catalog, 150 plus episodes of bonus stuff to binge. And every other week, you're going to get 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, we're going to talk about the history of fantasy sports, how it started, how it went from a smoky back room to the main cause of divorce in America. We'll find out how that happened there. And then for small town murder, we are going to talk about Kai, the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker.
I can't wait.
Who is a crazy guy who attacked a man with a hatchet in the middle of the street, but like in a heroic way, and then became a national hero, sort of a weird guy. And then like 3 weeks later, he did something not so heroic at all. We'll talk about that. It's wild. So that is patreon.com/crime and sports. Get in there definitely and do that. That said, I think it's time. Let's get right into the show here, Jimmie. What do you say? I think it's time to sit back.
Yeah.
Want to clear the lungs out a little bit?
Yeah.
It's time to clear the lungs. I don't care where you are. I don't care. Even if you're home, walk outside, right in your front lawn, or if you're in an apartment, off your balcony or something, and shout to the masses. Shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip.
Yeah, let's go.
You sound a little worried about where we're going. Don't worry, it's not Section Alabama again. Very quickly.
I'm so nervous.
Those people are nuts.
They really are.
We tapped into a real vein with that Section Alabama episode where hundreds of people who don't listen to the show at all have decided that they really hate us for talking about their area and how I don't understand it, man. It's a place where the rest of Alabama looks down on. I don't know what else to say about it besides that. You make your own judgment based upon that. So the cops are afraid to go to this place, okay, to investigate things. And they're like, don't talk about our town. Are you out of your mind? Fix it. Fix it. How about that?
Somebody said there's literally a Domino's 3 minutes away. 3 minutes.
That won't deliver to them. Why? Because you live in a terrifying place. That's why.
They're scared of you.
That says something. So we're going to go somewhere different this week.
Okay.
We're going to go to the Northwest here. We're getting out of the South there. We're going to Sequim, Washington. Sequim. Now it's spelled Sequim. So it looks like Sequim or Sequim, but if you ever watch 90 Day Fiancé, anybody out there, you know that it's actually Sequim because one of the guys was from there and he was on multiple seasons as Big Mike, and he was with the Ukrainian woman Natalie that Sarah does a great impression of her. Natalie, she does a great impression of her in her accent. But anyway, the Family Guy did a parody, and they 100% did this, where Stewie gets a woman from the Ukraine, and it's 100% this woman. Like it looks like an animated version of her. It's hilarious. So
this is probably a native word, right?
Sequim, I would assume so. Yeah,
that's not a word. So
yeah, it's not like they didn't get it from England, probably. I wouldn't think so. Sequim, Washington. It's very rural. Like where this guy lives, it is far. Like it's like a mile to the next house. It's really far. Oh. So this is a kind of a spread out area. Population 7,780 in the whole area. It's northwest of Seattle. So that tells you a lot. It's up there in that little hook region in the
how the fuck do you do that?
Little Washington panhandle. There's a little piece of Washington that looks like it's sneaking up behind Seattle. It's going to attack it from behind. Right. That's Sequim up there. So that's what we're doing. Median household income here $38,739. So a little lower than the national average, but it's less expensive out here too.
Oh, okay.
Except for the home prices, because there's a lot of land. So a lot of these are acres. So median home price out here $450,700.
Oh boy!
So pricey, a little bit pricey. Little bit of history up here. They first brought. It's weird because it's by the water and it's up there, but apparently there's not a lot of water up there. They had to irrigate this area to make it farmlands back in the day, in like the 1890s. It was
fresh water, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for fresh water, obviously. Yeah, you can't just get the ocean water for your crops. Yeah, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's what makes it even weirder. It's like I see water, but we can't grow shit. This is wrong.
We're all thirsty.
We're so thirsty. It was incorporated in 1913. And it was for a long, long time just small farms, mainly dairy farms.
Yeah.
Little tiny town, little dairy farms around it, very quiet type of place. Near the end of, after World War I, it became a stop for the railroad that passed through here that would basically the railroad would carry wood products from the forests back and forth, and it became a stop there. And really, that's kind of what it is. It's a lot of little farms and spread out areas, and it's very rural. It seems like a quaint little place. Like when they go to town in 90 Day Fiancé, everybody seems nice and shit like that. I mean, it's Washington, so
that area of the country is fascinating.
It's nice up there.
It's crazy quiet, and it rains like fucking constantly. But the raindrops are so serene, because like in most places when it rains, like the rain is annoying and obnoxiously loud. And in the woods like that, the rain like that is so fucking nice.
It's soothing. It's very soothing.
Yeah, it's a very, very comfortable place to be.
Robbie Knievel's from here, who just died like yesterday.
Today.
This
morning.
Now, as we record.
Right now.
As we
It's
record.
still warm.
He is cooling right now, Robbie Knievel. So that was, I was like, oh, all right. Well, there he is.
He's from here, huh?
He's from here. A couple of things here. Here's some reviews of this town. And once again, to say, these reviews are not our reviews. We've never been to these places. This is not our reviews. These are other people's that we are reading to you. So you can't be mad at us for these. What other people say. Okay, 5 stars. Sequim is a breath of fresh air. 2 years ago, I moved away from the smog, grime, and crime of Southern California, and I was mesmerized by the clean beauty of Sequim. Crime was replaced by friendly people who are always willing and ready to help their neighbor. Oh, my. The smog and grime of the big city was wiped away with countless gorgeous green evergreens. Well, yeah, of course they're green. They're evergreens. You didn't need to put that in there. That's a little redundant. The best part of living here is the excitement in the air. There's always a mountain to climb, somewhere new to explore. It's a dreamer's paradise.
Okay.
They really like that. Holy Jesus Christ. Here's 3 stars. Not so enthusiastic. Great if you are old and love lavender / church.
Lavender and church.
We'll get to the lavender here when we get to things to do. Not much for young people in the community. Yeah, lavender and church don't really sound like if you're 15, what you're really, raging to do. I absolutely love the area surrounded by mountains, woods, and close to the ocean. It's beautiful, but I hate the people. Hate the people. 2 stars. Job market is very bad. Well, there's 7,000 people there, so I don't know what are you looking for. Housing is very high and climbing. That's just how it is. Yeah. Rentals are very high and controlled by rental agencies. New home building permits are extremely high. There are a few annual festivals, but nightlife is zero unless you like casino life. Unless you're old or like lavender. The town basically closes up by 7 p.m. with the exception of a couple of big chain markets. It's primarily a retirement town. Those still working good jobs must travel to Seattle area. This guy had to drive like 3 hours to work every day from 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, my God.
2.5 each way, I think it was. He drove. I was like, oh,
that's a
God.
12-hour day.
That's what that's brutal.
8-hour day.
It's brutal. 1 star. Here we go. The people who have moved here have ruined our small farm town. Ruined. Being a second-generation farmer, I am able to sustain my parents' legacy and cannot feed our community. Unable to sustain my parents' legacy and cannot feed our community like I should be able to. How is that new people's
Too
fault?
many people?
I don't know how anybody moving in would cause your farm to not do as well. Like, I don't know. I don't know the economics of agriculture that much, but it seems like that wouldn't affect your farm much.
Unable to get the products it needs? Are they farming too, and they're taking up all the shit?
Maybe, but that's just. I mean, that's competition.
That's competition, babe.
Yeah, that's just that's capitalism. I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry about it.
Things to do here very quickly because there's not much. Lavender.
You do lavender.
The Sequim Lavender Weekend is their big thing.
It's a whole weekend.
Yeah,
looking at lavender, dressing in lavender.
What
is it?
Sequim's well known for its beautiful and fragrant lavender farms. For more than 2 decades, visitors have come from all over the world to celebrate this soothing purple herb. You just go there.
Time you bought lavender?
I don't know. Last time I've thought of lavender at all. Who thinks of lavender? I don't know. Some people love lavender. I have no idea, but I I don't know. I'm very confused. I'm very confused.
I imagine your market's shrinking. You're not really advertising much, getting it out there.
But now they do like oils and shit with lavender. I know that they have like and shit like that. So I think they're trying to reconstitute it. But that's it. Lavender. There's more than a dozen lavender farms open during lavender weekend. And all the farms, it tells you where they are, and all of them say you can go pick lavender and buy crafts and food based on lavender. So
great.
That sounds wonderful. That said, let's talk about a murder, shall we? Because what the fuck is happening with this lavender, dude? We're going to get people saying, I love lavender. I'm sure you do. We just didn't realize that lavender warranted a weekend, not even a festival. It's a whole weekend.
Identity.
Yeah. What do? I lavender.
You're a Harley guy.
Yeah, I didn't know lavender was a verb. I wasn't aware of that.
Lavender guy.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a verb. I just didn't know you could just lavender as a thing. What are you doing today? Going lavendering. Oh, okay.
Lavendering.
It's weird. It's gonna lavender a bit. So for this murder, let's go back to 1953, shall we?
Oh, boy.
Or 1993, not 1953.
Okay.
The guy I'm going to talk about was born in 1953 is the point of why I said that, because that's the next numbers down. So 1993 is our time period. Sequim, Washington, dairy farms, and not only dairy farms, farms of a different type, as we'll talk about here, because what a character we have for you here with this guy. All right. Darold, D-A-R-O-L-D, Ray Stenson is his name. Darold Ray Stenson. He's born in 1953. And what does everybody call him, Jimmy?
Dairy?
DJ.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
He doesn't have a J in his
Not
name.
A J.
All three words have no J's in them. I don't know if he's Darold Jr., and so he's DJ. I don't know what it is, but he's DJ somehow. Okay. Now, that can also be explained by the fact that he has 3 aliases as well. So maybe that's part of it as well. He is Darold Ray Stenson, a.k.a. Darold R.J. Stenson, a.k.a. James Allen Anderson, a.k.a. Larry Joe Prisbison.
Prisbison and also Arnold or Anderson? What?
Anderson. Here's the Prisbison. I don't know how you say it. P-R-Z-Y-B-Y-C-I-E-N.
Nope, that's not it.
I don't know how you say that, but that's one of his aliases. Larry Joe. Hey, Larry Joe. Larry Joe Presbalewski. That's the one. How you doing, Larry Joe Presbalewski? So Darold has some names. So we're just going to stick with DJ over here.
Are those, you got to tell me right now, did he pick those for like running from the law? He uses those? Or
well, I'm going to tell you all about that right now. What do you think?
Tell
me. That's not next? You think I wouldn't try to explain why he goes by Larry Joe Presbalewski sometimes? Let's find out.
Big Wire fan.
Well, yeah, he's a huge Wire fan. Prior to all of this, he has convictions in 1971, which is when he's 18. So we don't know what his juvenile record contains. That's just his adult record starts right at 18 with a felony conviction of possession of LSD in King County, which it's 1971. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's selling it or what, but I don't know. Who cares, honestly? It
seems like there's probably a lot of people up and down the Pacific Coast that have LSD on them.
I don't think he's the only guy with fucking acid in their pocket in 1971 in the area is what I'm getting at. So that's fine. 1974 gets a bit more serious with a federal felony conviction for distribution of cocaine.
Federal. Oh, boy.
In 74.
That's a lot of coke he probably had.
Do you know how few people were selling coke in 1974? You know what I'm saying? Like in 1970, you could get coke in in New York City, if you're in an upper crust thing, you probably get it in Beverly Hills. I'm sure San Francisco had their little bit, and people had coke here and there, but coke wasn't like it is, and became in the 80s and late 70s. 74, coke was still
That's
pretty expensive and rare at that point, especially in rural Washington. So he's convicted of that. Then in 1985, he is convicted of 2 federal misdemeanors as well. These are failure to file an income tax return and possession of cocaine.
Okay. So he's still hanging on to the coke.
I don't know if you're sensing a pattern here. So you have a coke dealer who has 4 different names. And at this moment in time, he has a 5-acre farm that he's kind of doing a rent-to-buy situation where, like, he pays the mortgage payments, basically, of his, landlord.
Taking over payments, yeah.
He owns Dakota Farms. It's a 5-acre operation, and if I gave you 100 guesses of what they deal with, you'd never guess it. It's not lavender. I mean, maybe. It's not lavender, so I'll start with that. That's guess one out of the way.
Is he growing coca leaves?
No, he has ostriches, emus, rheas. What are those birds that look like ostriches but smaller?
It's just doing exotic birds, big ones?
And other exotic birds. Yeah, giant exotic birds is what he's doing.
Wow. Dakota Farms does exotic birds.
Does exotic birds.
I guess bison?
That's what I mean. It sounds like that, right? Nope, exotic birds. So you have a coke dealer with giant birds walking around, which just sounds so fucking hilarious to me. It sounds like the guy in Boogie Nights with Motorin playing while he's like shooting his gun off and firecrackers in the living room in his bathrobe. You know, like
none of this goes together.
None of this goes together. It's all very cokey. You know what I mean? It's all. I've done a lot of
very drug behavior. It sure
Ever
is.
seen emu? I need an emu. Let's get emus. Want to buy emus? I bought some emus. They're coming next week. Okay, now we own an emu farm. Hey, honey, I bought an emu farm. What? Emus. You know what the fuck they are? Ostriches. Like ostriches. I bought ostriches too. Okay, good. Let's do this. Like that's.
Getting peacocks next week.
Getting peacocks going to be great. What are we going to do? We're going to sell them. Just sell them. If we can't sell them, we'll eat them. We'll eat them if we can't sell them. I heard they're delicious. Low fat, very low fat, very lean meat.
lean meat.
lean meat. We have tacos. Tuesday tacos. Taco Tuesday. We're going to have them every Tuesday now. Every Tuesday we're going to have ostrich tacos. Ostrich tacos. If we don't have any ostriches left, we'll have emus. What do you think? You know anybody who wants to buy an emu? Hey, have you asked your friends if they want to buy emus? He's fucking nuts, I think, is the
peacock
thing.
Taco? Peacock?
Peacocko? Ever have a peacocko? Peacockos are awesome. Me and my wife have peacockos every Tuesday. We have Peacocko Tuesday. It's really good. You're going to love it. Come on over.
You get cockatoos, too. We're going to have cockatoos.
Peacockatoo Tuesdays. Peacocka Taco Tuesdays.
Tacatoos.
Peacockatoo Taco Tuesday. This is a ridiculous situation immediately.
I can't understand what his brain is doing.
It's on a lot of coke, put it that
really
way.
Is.
And we'll
it's
find
firing.
out that it's still on some coke. It's definitely.
Really?
He doesn't leave the coke behind, no. He's been doing coke a long time and dealing in coke a long time, and he's going to continue to do that. He's currently under a blanket investigation also, yeah.
Today?
As this is going on in 1993, his landlord who was selling him the house later on, you'll find out that the landlord is told by an investigator, cop friend of his, that, hey, your guy that you're selling to, just so you know, we're having a big, giant countywide investigation of his drug dealing. So
we got some dossiers on your boy.
Yeah, if you might want to deal with whatever with the property and all that, you know what I mean? So now DJ here is married as well. Of course he is. He finds a woman here. They've been together about 7-8 years, and her name is Denise Ann Stenson. She's 29 in 1993, so she's born in 64, so a little younger than him. They have 3 children as well.
Oh.
3 children, 6, 4, and 1.
Oh, just started this fam.
Yeah, and they had the first 2 before they got married, where they were living together and everything. Then they got married and had another one here. So their residence is on Dakota Farms, and there's imagine all the birds walking around. So that's the setting that we have going on. Cokehead, ostriches, children. I don't even know. So. This guy's past, too. He once owned Port Washington Properties, which built condos. They built a condo marina deal, like a marina with condos and shit, in Bremerton in the mid-'80s, but ran into legal trouble, because he's financing it with coke money, probably, allegedly. He owes part of a $1.7 million judgment stemming from the dispute over missing assets of the marina. So
he's looting the business.
There's a lot of he's got all sorts of shady shit going on. He was placed on probation when he was convicted for the cocaine and income taxes in the 80s. He's placed on probation and was placed on inactive status as of 1987. So they let him off, and he decided at that point to put all this craziness behind him.
Yeah.
And sailed to the Philippines on a boat that he purchased called the Dragon Where? W-E-Y-R? Where?
What?
Wire?
The Dragon Weir?
The Dragon Weir, we'll say.
Okay.
So he purchased that boat. I'm sailing to the Philippines. I've done it. It's over. That boat, July 11th, 1989, sank. So
yes,
it didn't go very far. Yeah. He collected
it feels very insurance.
He collected $200,000 from Lloyd's of London for the boat. Yeah. He insured it really well through a really fucking high up
top tier
type of deal.
Insurance company. Yeah,
and another $150,000 on another policy covering the equipment. So he pulled $350,000 out of that. Okay, so this is the guy we're dealing with a bunch of ostriches walking around, nostrils bright red with coke in his mustache. That's who you got to picture.
He's a party, man.
This guy's a party. He's got a kind of a business partner here. A guy named Frank Horner, I guess you'd say. It's Hoerner. So Horner with an E.
Horner, yeah.
Horner, yeah. He's born in 1960, so he's in the age range here. He also has a wife named Denise, to make this confusing, okay? Terrific. So they're both married to Denises. Jesus. Now
tells me that's how they met.
Yeah, but your wife's name's Denise too. Holy shit! You want some coke? All right.
We should be pals.
See if Denise wants to do a couple of lines with us.
Bring your Denise. I'll bring my Denise. We'll have a great time.
Ever ask her if she wants to pet an ostrich? It's a weird sensation. Maybe she wants to pet an ostrich.
She like picacos?
What do you think? You think she'll be up for a picaco? They're pretty good. So. He lays carpet. This guy is like his main job, and he's, I guess, been trying to get into this business. DJ's been talking Frank into investing into the exotic bird business. Okay. There's several people who've been putting some money into this business for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. What a great business opportunity. I don't know what the market is for ostriches and emus and shit. It might be huge. I could be missing a huge market that I have no idea about. But
it feels like there's a lot of paperwork involved with that you got to report where you got it from. Like, you know what I mean? Like the paper trail of where this bird originated feels like it's probably important to people.
He gets them from Texas. They're all from Texas. But I would imagine, in addition to that, like, it's okay. All right. Let's start from the beginning with the ostriches here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Let me say this too. Bird shit on your car is impossible to get off sometimes. That is a much bigger bird. It's got to shit so much bigger.
Yeah,
like
not on your car.
Of that bird has to be crazy.
Of the time. Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah, there's got to be a lot of care involved. There's got to be a lot of shit like that. But this sounds like the type of business that you answered an ad in a magazine. Yeah. Like, start your own ostrich farm. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right under the sea monkeys.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was trying to put it into words. That's the most succinct way I can put it. It sounds like just some random ad in a magazine, way in the back, with those X-ray glasses that it says you can see through girls' bikinis and shit like that from like 1986. You know,
itching powder.
Yeah, itching powder and sea monkeys and that have like muscles and shit in the little picture, and like
fart bombs.
A whole society going on. Those fart bombs work though. Those are good. We cleared out a Wendy's one time with one of those. Boy, that was amazing.
Just one. It doesn't take much.
No, one. I cleared the whole place. That the cops came. They thought it was some kind. It was crazy. We just sat back like, holy shit. There was a hazmat team making sure there wasn't like a gas leak.
Did somebody step on it or just throw it?
It was a little glass one. We just put it on the ground. We ate some food, put it on the ground, stepped on it, and walked out. And then the place just went outside and watched the place fucking empty. It was amazing. That was 13. So, I mean, that was, it was fun at the time.
Dave's single, though.
Oh, yeah. You're not getting anything. You're like, why'd I get the triple? So now Frank and DJ and the Denises here, March 25th, 1993. Okay. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m., and DJ calls 911.
Oh.
And he states this, quote, "This is DJ Stenson at Dakota Farms. Frank has just shot my wife and himself, I think." So apparently Frank went buck wild, shot
the wrong
Denise one, and himself afterwards. Okay, now, so obviously they send the cops and ambulance and everything like that over to Dakota Farms. He DJs outside, meets the officers outside,
Yeah.
Says, come on in. He's not like hanging out with a scotch sitting in a recliner when they get there. So just doing lines. Hey, guys, how you doing? Come on in.
Come in.
Come on in, guys. Hey. He leads them first to a downstairs guest bedroom where Frank is face down on the floor with a gunshot wound to the head. Okay. So that looks pretty bad. And then there's the revolver is rested beside his hand next to his head. Mm-hmm. So it's all right there. So then Stenson brings them up to the master bedroom where his wife, 28-year-old Denise, is in bed. She is wounded with a gunshot wound to the head, but she's still alive.
Oh.
Frank's dead downstairs. He's totally dead. She is still breathing. She's still alive, still has a heartbeat. So they airlift her to Harborview Hospital, but she died the next morning.
Damn it.
So, yeah, she died then. So both of them end up dead here. So obviously, they're like, well, what the fuck? Why did he shoot your wife and then himself? That's a very odd.
Highlander Denise.
This is weird. Yeah, this doesn't.
There can only be one.
There can only be one. I'm fighting for the honor of my Denise. My Denise shall not be impugned. So DJ tells the cops that the night this happened, it's 4 a.m., but that evening, DJ, Frank, and the Denises all had dinner together at a restaurant.
Okay.
They all went out. DJ said when he got home from dinner, he called Frank and told him, hey, you should come over to Dakota Farms here to sign some insurance forms for some ostriches that were going to be purchased by Stenson for the two of them. They were going to go in on a batch of ostriches. You go in on like a bag of weed together back in the day. They're going in on
I got 5 on it. Let's go.
Bag of ostriches. Let's do it. So Stenson then tells them, DJ, he says that Frank said he was too tired, but that he would come over at 3:30 in the morning, which would be on his way to catch the ferry to go to work.
Oh.
Because it takes a while to get there, then you got to take the ferry.
I got to go to bed now because I got to be up at 3 a.m. But if you want, I'll stop by on my way.
Exactly. I'll stop by in the middle of the night. Now, DJ's like, sure, I'm coked up. I'll be up till whenever.
I'll still be awake. Come on.
I'll be up. Definitely. Insurance paperwork sounds great. You're raring for paperwork if you're coked up at 3 a.m. Paperwork? Yeah.
Let's do it.
So DJ said he called Frank back and told him to call before he came over in the morning. Just, give me a heads up. Which makes sense in case I fall asleep or whatever, So DJ then tells the cops that Frank had come to the house early that day to sign the insurance forms. Obviously, he was there a few minutes before 3:30. He said that Frank had invested over $30,000 in the exotic bird business. Wow. And that DJ had told Frank that that DJ was going to go to Texas to pick up Frank's ostriches and some for himself as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to Texas for some ostriches. You need anything? That's amazing. Can I grab you like an emu or something? Just like a... No? Okay. I'll be back. Good.
That is a fascinating sentence.
That's wild, right? I've never even thought that. But that's how big the world is, Jimmy. We don't think of these things, but somewhere in the corner of this world, probably right as we're speaking now, someone's going, I'm getting some emus. Do you need any? Someone saying that.
I'm making an emu.
I'm making a run. Yeah. You need an emu? What do you need? A few? I'll pick you up a batch. What do you got here?
Those don't eat like bird seed, right? What do those eat?
Beats the shit. Men, I think. People. Children.
Yeah. Children.
Villagers. I don't know.
They've
I don't know
got
what you...
giant fucking claws.
Oh, they're nasty as shit.
Yeah.
They're huge. They're nasty. Yeah, I don't know what they eat. They look like they eat meat, though. They look like they tear flesh from a
An
body.
ostrich has like raptor legs. It's crazy.
Oh, God. Those things are
nasty
scary.
Claw, those things are insane.
Giant dinosaurs. Those are scary. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with SimpliSafe proactive security system. SimpliSafe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want SimpliSafe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So now DJ tells tells the cops that Frank had not brought any cash that morning, but Frank had given DJ $6,850 for the insurance 2 weeks earlier. Now, Frank's Denise said that, according to Frank had to give DJ the money, and according to her, she thought that Frank would have had $10,000 in a briefcase that morning to give to him, to give to DJ. So that's just one of the things that's a little bit off. And DJ tells them that when Frank came over to the home, around 3:30, they went out to the office, which is in a separate building behind the house, and that Frank signed the insurance forms out there. So then he said that Frank became glum, is the way he put it, quote unquote glum, when DJ told Frank that he should raise the ostriches here at his own home. He said, why don't you raise them at your house rather than having them here?
Because even though 5 fucking acres.
Even though I have kind of an exotic bird farm that I run here, so
I'm all set up for it. But
I'm all set up, but I mean, yeah, you could just put them in your living room. They don't shit that much.
In a closet somewhere.
A little dog cage them. I don't know. So DJ said that Frank then left the office building to go to the house to use the bathroom. So he got glum and then needed to use the bathroom. Is the story. Okay. So DJ says that when Frank didn't return to the office, Frank went into the house to look for him. And he found him in the guest bedroom all shot to death. Said, holy shit. Right? Yeah, and DJ said, I didn't even hear any gunshots out there. Didn't hear shit. But lo and behold, there he is on the floor.
So goddamn. DJ's story is Frank got upset, went to take a shit, didn't come back, so I went looking for him.
Yeah, Frank got upset because he was told that maybe he should raise the emus or the ostriches on his property, so he got sort of upset, had to go to the bathroom, and shot himself in the head, which seems like an overreaction. It just seems like, I'm going to go out on a limb. Yeah. Seems like a bit of an overreaction to, right?
How much has Denise given you shit about this, where now you having to bring him home is going to fucking cause...
That's what I mean.
Real problem at home.
Jesus. So DJ said as he looked at Frank, all dead there, he heard moaning from upstairs and went to find his wife also shot in the head. He said then he called 911 and he said, I think Frank shot my wife and shot himself. That's the only explanation here. There's a gun by him. Wife's shot. He's shot in the head. Looks like he, murder-suicide. Case closed. Case closed. All right, everybody. Case closed? Out. Everybody good? All right, everybody good. I think everybody should get out of my house now because the case is closed and everything's fine and everything's good. I'm going to clean up now. Bye.
Lock it when you close it.
See you later. Bye. I'm going to take the television apart. See you. Bye. So he said that their children, aged 6, 4, and 1, were asleep and didn't wake up when the shooting happened either. They slept right through it. This great insulation in this house.
No
great.
kidding.
Wow, this is awesome from room to room. It's awesome. So when they asked him, did he know any reason why anyone would want to kill Frank or Denise? He said that, I mean, there's been some problems in Frank's Denise, his wife, Frank's wife, Denise. There's been some problems in their sexual relationship.
Why do you know that?
That's okay. You called murder-suicide. Come to my house. Anybody do you know that would want to hurt them rather than, I mean...
I don't know, his dick's been soft lately.
I don't know. Him and his wife have been having sexual problems. What the hell kind of... What kind of a sexual problem is it where his wife would want to hurt him for it? That's a real problem he's having.
Does anybody hate him? Well, his wife's dry and he's limp. Does that help?
Does that help? Arid as a desert afternoon, buddy. As a July day in the Mojave. I'll tell you something. So they say that that's what he says. That they had problems in their sexual relationship. Then one of the deputies says, quote, "You mentioned earlier that you kind of thought that Frank was sweet on your Denise," meaning his wife, DJ's wife. So DJ answered that he knew Frank liked her, his own wife, DJ's wife, and that he said that Frank complained about his relationship with his own wife. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, there's plenty of people who hate their own wife and think someone else's wife is pretty nice. That doesn't mean that they're going to do a murder-suicide over it. That seems a bit extreme, right?
They probably imagine her while they're fucking their own Denise, but all right.
That's all. That's the extent of it.
Yeah.
So at 5:28 a.m., Stenson signs a consent form for the officers to search his entire residence and all the outbuildings and vehicles and, just a whole whatever they want. So he also gives voluntary permission for them to search his clothing and gives his clothing voluntarily to one of the detectives as well. Yeah. So he's doing all that. No other physical evidence was taken until later in the morning when they got a full search warrant. We'll grab the preliminary shit with permission, but then to grab forensic type stuff, they're going to wait till they get the proper warrant for that. So 11:16 a.m. on March 25th here, that's the next morning, I think, a Superior Court judge, because the 23rd, the 24th, and then the 25th, so it'd be the next morning. So a Superior Court judge issues the search warrant for this place here. It's at 55 Cane Lane, by the way, in Sequim. So now there's like businesses around there. I saw there's like an animal, like a spa thing, and there's shit like that around there. So it's not a farm per se anymore. It's multiple businesses. So they get a bunch of search warrants. They also get warrants for DJ Stenson's property and records things, various bank account records, phone records, bookkeeping records of Dakota Farms, and a storage locker.
Yeah.
So in the initial request, the officers sought permission to look for evidence of a relationship between the Stensons and the Horners as well. Mm-hmm. So they told the judge that the physical evidence of blood spattering at the scene does not appear consistent with DJ's story of an attempted murder and suicide that happened.
Uh-oh.
Okay, they're saying the spatter looks different than that. The officers also told the judge that Denise Horner, Frank's wife, had told the officers that the Horners were good friends with and business partners with the Stensons, so there could be something here. Now, Denise's brother, Denise Stenson's brother, the dead lady here, her brother told officers that that Denise was planning to end the Stensons were planning to end the partnership business-wise with Frank Horner, and that there was an attraction between Frank Horner and Denise Stenson. I don't know if it goes one way or both ways. That we're not sure about. Now, the autopsy is going to do a lot because we're going to have to – if the spatter doesn't work out, let's see what the autopsy says.
Yeah.
The autopsy of Frank shows that he had been assaulted before he was shot.
Oh, he kicked the shit out of himself?
That's a problem. Yeah, he was doing self-flagellation, and then he said, this isn't working fast enough, and he shot himself. They said he'd been struck on the head with a rectangular-shaped blunt instrument.
Okay.
So that's not consistent at all with, murder-suicide, unless he went to kill Denise and she bopped him on the head a couple of times before he did it. That would be the only thing. So they said this head injury, though, was so bad it would have rendered him either unconscious or at least stunned momentarily. So this is
a good smack.
Yeah, these are fucking blows to the head here. The autopsy report also noted that bits of gravel were embedded in Frank's back and buttocks.
Oh.
Gravel. So not a lot
you usually don't have that in your bedroom, right?
Usually it's carpet tile or wood. There's not a lot of
we're just raw plywood.
We're graveling the guest bedroom today is not something you hear often. Then we're going lavendering after that.
Gonna go with a nice pea gravel this year.
Yeah. And then we're having picacos.
Tamp it down.
So that's a problem. The gravel, when tested, appeared to be from the driveway at the Stenson residence.
Uh-oh.
So he didn't fall down at his house, then come over there with gravel embedded in his skin, which would be a strange thing to do anyway. So the autopsy shows as well.
In his ass?
In his in his skin up there and his lower back.
Probably,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I feel like his shirt came up, his pants.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in his hole. They didn't have was it really stuck up there? He had 4 pebbles in his butthole. It was real weird.
Did he slip real hard?
He slipped
steps or something?
hard,
Jesus.
Boy.
You got to hit hard to get it through the pants.
I don't know how he didn't break his tailbone, to be honest with you. So they said that the autopsy shows that it doesn't look like Frank committed suicide, but he was killed by a single bullet wound to the head. We'll find other things as well here on the Frank deal. Thing that's even weirder, though, Denise's autopsy reveals marks on her wrist consistent with being tied or bound.
Oh, what the shit?
So she was tied up. So this is very strange. Either they're doing some real kinky sexual shit involving bondage and gravel, and emus, and we don't know about it, or
in no time flat, because all he did was go take a shit.
That's what I mean. Quick. He waited 10 minutes? How long do you wait till you go, Jesus, how long is this guy going to shit for? 20 minutes? 15 minutes?
How long do you get that comfortable at a friend's house?
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Get in and get out.
What do you got to read in there, pal? I'm going to pinch one off. So
go in there with my phone. Play some Candy Crush.
Well, 93, I'm thinking. Yeah. So they need magazines at 93. Yeah. What do you got to read in there? So the subsequent investigation here, the conclusion is that Frank was beaten unconscious, dragged into the house from the gravel driveway, through the laundry room and into the guest bedroom, where he was shot in the head at close range. So because that's where the blood was. Evidence showed that Frank's hand had come to rest, then the revolver came to rest on it, or it was placed in his hand. They can tell that very easily. Homicide detectives can tell in 2 seconds if the person holding the gun really shot themselves or not.
Really?
It's one of the you can tell the way the hands are on the gun. They know if it's real or not. You can tell. It's just, if it's placed, it does not look right. It looks like a mannequin. It looks like a G.I. Joe that you stuck a fucking gun in their hand. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Doesn't work right like that. So they searched DJ's place here. He had a collection of nunchuck-like shit on the wall. A lot of them with the correct edges that would have made those marks on the wall of his office. And they said that the weapon used to render Frank unconscious was consistent with these weapons. So
you Michelangelo'd him?
He whacked him with nunchucks. How coked out is that? How coke dealer is it with ostriches and shit running around to smash your partner in the fucking head with a goddamn nunchuck? Motor in! I mean, and then fucking drag him inside and shoot him.
He's got to be a Bruce Lee fan, right?
Of course he is. He's a 70s coke guy. Of course he is. He was probably wearing a silk robe tied. You know he was.
Yellow and black
with Asian designs.
Dragon.
Yes, you know he was. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
David Carradine, one of the two. This is bizarre.
All of it. It's fun. Chuck Norris even. He doesn't care. So they said that the doctor did this. Dr. Brady said that the appearance of Frank's wounds was consistent with being caused by these weapons. Stenson, by the way, is a martial arts instructor. Again, how cokey can you get? I teach karate, and I'm going to sail to the Philippines, and then I'm going to come back and buy emus and ostriches and do coke off them. That's what I'm going to do, right off their beaks.
This is a story about how great America used to be. You could just do all this.
This is insanity.
You can't do this anymore.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So the investigators also find spatters of Frank's blood out in the driveway, which is not good for DJ here, and in the laundry room, and a bloody fingerprint of DJ's on the freezer in the laundry room. So it's not going well for DJ here. Also, DJ's jeans had blood spatters on them, which were consistent with his Frank's blood protein profile. It was too degraded for DNA, I think, because it's 93 also. Right. So some of the blood spatters on the jeans were the type of stains which could not have been deposited on the pants after Frank,
shot himself.
He couldn't say, well, I saw Frank and I went in there and got blood on me. They were spatters. They were you can tell that they came.
How fast did you get in here? Was it still in the air?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Was it floating in the air still? That would have been impressive. Were you in the Matrix? What happened? So ammo, which fits the murder weapon, was also found in DJ's garage, and particles of gunshot residue were found inside DJ's right pants pocket.
Uh-oh.
So this is not looking good here. They also reveal that Stenson was in difficult financial circumstances. Frank had paid him a total of $50,000, which was listed on his business books as deposits on birds. But at the time of Frank's death, the books showed that only one purchase for two smaller birds totaling under $2,000 had been made from that investment. Mm-hmm. So that means $48,000 in his pocket or up his nose or wherever it goes.
Wherever it went.
So the bank account of Dakota Farms had a balance of approximately $3,400, which is not enough. No. And an audit of his accounts, DJ's account, showed that investors' money had been spent on the Stenson's personal items and purchases. Mm-hmm. The owner of the actual land, Kit Eldridge, was pressuring DJ to buy the property quickly. At that point, because he had heard there's an investigation. So he's like, why don't you go ahead and we'll finish this up and sew it up there. That way the federal government will seize it from you and not me. That'd be good.
Money, I give you a deed. Let's get this over.
Let's get it going here. And I guess in February of 93, DJ had told his landlord that he would buy the property soon because business was booming. The ostrich business is cooking, man. So the evidence also shows that DJ had sought large loans shortly before the deaths had happened as well. Now, life insurance policies were found in the office showing that DJ had purchased a total of $400,000 of life insurance on Denise's life.
Yeah.
$300,000 policy was naming the owner of Dakota Farms as the beneficiary. This is a mortgage insurance thing.
Yep.
So that became effective in May 92. So then there was another $100,000 one that was payable right to DJ. So the other Denise Horner, she said that she gives a little more background on what goes on inside the Stenson residence. She tells the cops that DJ himself told her, Denise Horner, that Denise Stenson, DJ Denise over here,
right,
she was only allowed to leave the house once a day.
What is that about?
Okay.
He's controlling her? Uh-huh.
Yeah. They said that she said, he told me just because my husband let me gallivant around town. Anyone who uses the word gallivant in a non-sarcastic or non-fucking... That's
not the context of a fucking joke.
If you mean that seriously, using that word in a serious fashion, that is hilarious. It's still a joke. It's fun, but this isn't funny. Yeah. He told me just because my husband let me gallivant around town, he wasn't gonna let his wife do that. And his wife, her job was to be in the home, and she was to stay there at the house.
Oh my!
Yeah. So now. He said, Jesus Christ, he will later on argue that can't be used against me. That's irrelevant. Yeah. So what if I want her gallivanting or not? That doesn't matter.
Who cares?
He literally said that. The fact that he didn't want his wife, quote, gallivanting around town is irrelevant. So that is fucking funny. He also told her at one point that in front of people that, yes, she can use his truck to go somewhere, but if anything happens to his truck, she's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh.
So treats her like a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, it's strange, or a 16-year-old that just got their license or something.
Right.
It's fucking weird. So there's other evidence here. Statements from Mrs. Horner, Frank's Denise, said that I guess there was this is when they discover that they start looking into shit and they start thinking that the boat sinking was insurance fraud and shit like that. Items that had been reported missing along with the ship were an Apple Macintosh computer and scuba gear, and a seemingly identical computer and scuba gear matching the description of that lost on the ship, as well as other nautical equipment were found at Dakota Farms.
Oh, shit.
So he took all the equipment off, sunk the boat, and then said, "Oh, I need insurance for my boat and all that equipment." Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's terribly done. A terribly done insurance.
Left a boat at the bottom of the Pacific and took all the shit off of it.
Took it all. He still has it. So business records indicated that Dakota Farms also, like we said, was in trouble. Records, business cards, and credit cards and legal papers indicated that DJ had currently been involved in several other unrelated businesses. He used other names, was in debt, had filed for bankruptcy in the last couple years. He's a fucking mess at this point. Just a disaster. Yeah. So also drugs were found in his home, as well as criminal information papers describing charges against DJ for possession of cocaine. He still had those. The DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, had interviewed DJ, and a DEA affidavit apparently referred to in the information states that DJ described a method for laundering profits from drug sales in the past. So this is not great.
None of this evidence looks good for DJ. He's in a lot of trouble.
It looks really, really, really bad. So it does not look good, man. So, the landlord ends up transferring him the property because he said since he got the money for the mortgage insurance, he transfers the property. And he said he wanted to do it very quickly, even though he was under no legal duty to do this, the landlord. But he said he wanted to do it because he didn't want anything to do with it because he heard that the place was going to get raided for drugs. So
yeah, I want out of this.
He didn't even want cops to even come talk to him when that shit happened. So and also he said I was concerned for my family's safety at the time.
I'll bet.
He said, well, if this guy does that, maybe he'll come kill me and my wife too. So he decided to accelerate the sale because an agent with the IRS also had contacted him about some phone calls from the Sequim property to a drug dealer that they were investigating. So
Which alphabet agency is not investigating this guy?
All of them. It's every single one of them. It's fucking wild. He's got them all. He's really got. It's like him and Bin Laden were the only people that had every agency looking into him. So
he's treating them like Pokemon.
John Gotti didn't have this many agencies on him. So the charges come in. They decide to charge DJ with the murders here. They're like, we think you did it, pal. So he's arrested on April 8th, 93. So a couple weeks go by. 2 counts of first-degree aggravated murder.
Oh, boy.
Which the state files that they intend to seek the death penalty here.
Yep.
Now, Denise's brother, Denise Stenson, dead Denise. There's live Denise and dead Denise. Dead Denise here, this poor Denise. Her brother and sister-in-law, her brother's wife, they operate the ostrich farm now. They inherited it, apparently. And they believe that DJ's innocent, they said.
Oh, it sounds to me like Emu taking care of is real fucking hard.
Yeah, he's
Let
innocent.
him out. This sucks.
Yeah, he's innocent. Another guy, Vern Vorenkamp, said that he's known DJ for 15 years. He sold him. He's the one who sold him the insurance policies, and he's also invested in the ostrich ranch, and he thinks he's a swell guy. So
they don't know the evidence, right? They're not privy to this.
Hope not. I mean,
come on, you guys. It's very obvious.
It seems obvious. There's nobody else there unless one of the ostriches did it. That's
right.
I don't know how good they are with those big claws. You never know. So the trial comes up. It's a death penalty case. Here's the evidence he wants not to be included in the trial. Well, there's a lot that he wants, but here's what he's trying legally to not allow. The fact that he uses aliases, because that looks bad on you. Evidence that he had collected public assistance under an assumed name, which had ceased shortly before the murder. So he was doing all this. He was also collecting welfare under one of his aliases, even though he was owning a farm and selling coke. So and collecting insurance money. He's scamming that as well. Let's see. Any allegation or evidence that DJ had in the past engaged in insurance fraud in relation to insurance proceeds he collected from the sinking of his boat. Any evidence of his past criminal record in the guilt phase, obviously not the sentencing. Evidence that there was a stun gun in Stenson's desk drawer.
Uh-oh.
Evidence that the landlord and owner of the farm had been contacted by the IRS and told they were investigating the drug things here. Mm-hmm. All these things. Not most of this gets into the trial, though. Most of it does.
All those things make me look real bad. Please don't talk about those.
Prior bad acts can't come in unless DJ testifies himself or the defense brings up character or we move on to the penalty phase. So the prosecutor tells the jury that the physical evidence makes the murder-suicide story impossible. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. He didn't bash himself over in the head, crawl in on his ass through the gravel, and then blow his brains out. That's not how this goes.
Walking on his ass cheeks like an Atlanta stripper? What is
that? Yeah, what's happening here? They call that the Atlanta shuffle. I don't...
There's the Atlanta crawl right there.
That's what that is. So the other Denise, the live Denise, Frank's wife, she is going to testify that DJ convinced Frank that he could double his money by investing in the exotic bird business and that Frank could get rich and have a better life than working so hard as a carpet installer. Okay. So he started investing in 1992, and he'd given Stenson $50,000 from the sale of their home that they had sold their house. He took $50,000 of that, invested it here. So, yeah, they talk about Frank had been worried about the money he had invested, and he told the Stensons that he wanted the birds or his money back, one of the two. Obviously, DJ didn't have his money. So also, there was also messages on his answering machine from bird dealers in Texas going, hey, you said you were going to pick your birds up on Thursday, and it's fucking Saturday now. Yeah. What's going on? Let me know what's up. So he had like all these bird orders that he wasn't fulfilling. He wasn't taking. So she testified that DJ told her and Frank that he needed money. He needed to keep their money in his account to show Asian investors that he had money so he could get a loan from them. Okay. So he needed to, puff up his bottom line here. So she also said that DJ told Frank to come to his house that night to sign the insurance papers in case something happened to the birds on the way back from Texas. That's how the whole thing was. There's a palm print. Now, he claims that there's a bloody partial palm print on the dryer. This is DJ's defense claim, which was not that wasn't his. Oh. Now, that's not accurate, though, because the palm print from the dryer wasn't bloody. It was actually an old palm print, probably most likely from Denise, they figured out. So nothing to do with that. And there was no evidence of any blood there at all.
No blood.
So
just
no blood.
Shit.
Just a big hunk of emu shit. So in the closing argument later on, they talk about the palm print and all this type of shit. So midway through the case, DJ says, hold on, hold the phone. You think he was just going to go through a trial like a normal person? No. I want to fire my attorney.
Oh, God.
Done with him. And as a matter of fact, I'm done with lawyers in general. I'd like to represent myself from here on out. Of course he does. I'm going to represent myself. I know the law really well. I've been reading a lot of books in jail, and I think I can do it. I talked to a couple other guys that did it, and sure, they got 30 years to life, but I think I can do it because I'm a lot smarter than them. You know what I mean? They never raised birds. They never did any of that.
I'm going to impress the jury with my nunchucks and my robes.
Yep, I'm going to do a karate display for them.
Watch
I'm going to do a
kata.
karate exhibition for. He gets up, bows to the jury like he's
all 12 of them, one at a time.
Now, obviously, they're. The Ferretta right to self-representation, it's called, but it's not absolute, and it can't be if you can't represent yourself enough to where it's going to get thrown out in appeal because you were just floating out there and didn't know what you were doing, then the judge won't let you do it. You have to prove you sort of know a little bit what you're doing and that you're kind of competent to do this, and then they also make you usually have legal counsel next to you that are you can't just go out there by yourself.
Right, walking you through it.
This guy's like, I can do it. So, no problem. He said, I would like to formally make a motion then that I be able to allow to represent myself. That's what he said in court. Right there, I'd go, no, denied. I'm going to cut you off right now. I would formally make a motion then that I be able to allow to represent myself. No, I want to do this. I do not want to do this, but the court and the counsel that I currently have force me to do this. As I said, I've been under the illusion that I was going to be defended, not merely as Mr. Leatherman stated the other day, he would cross-examine witnesses. This is not a defense. So the judge said, I do not consider the issue of trial strategy or trial tactics, which are going to be undertaken here, as anything which is resolved. And he said, excuse me? That's exactly what he said. I'm not even kidding. That's the fucking... Excuse me.
Your answer, sir, is indicative of why I don't want you to do this.
So the judge said, and I'm sure in an annoyed voice,
yeah.
I don't consider that resolved. That's a decision between you and your counsel that will have to be resolved as we get to trial, as we go through the trial, and I can't resolve that for you. As a motion to represent yourself at this point in the trial, and I have indicated, certainly you have the constitutional right to do so if the motion is timely made. At this point, I find that it's not timely made. You go fuck yourself. So... he says, this is him now, DJ. But likewise, no. I'm going to stop you right there, DJ. Shut the fuck up and sit down.
That's not what's said in court, DJ.
But likewise, I do not proceed with counsel that I have. Basically, my attorneys, after months of refusing to investigate certain things that I thought my family thought were very important to the case, basically, Mr. Leatherman, I attempted to fire him twice in the past, and each time I did that, I was just kind of poo-pooed and said, no, things will be handled. Poo-pooed, gallivanting. I love the way this guy talks. He's out of his mind. Basically, it's wild. Basically, the night before they came, because he probably did this with his hand, poo-pooed like that. You know, that everybody knows the gesture I'm doing. Basically, the night before they came to see me, they said that unless I agreed to the way they wanted to proceed on the trial, they were going to withdraw, and what they wanted to... both their views on the death penalty prohibit them from fighting for me. And I want to state I'm not guilty of these charges that are against me, and we have many, many, many things, too, that will corroborate this. But I was told because of their views on me, and basically what he's saying here is that he's saying I didn't do it. His lawyers are taking the strategy of, let's save your life.
Yeah.
You obviously fucking did this. The evidence is pretty bad. We're going to take the tactic.
No. You guys are looking at it all wrong.
Exactly. He's like, no. Burnt fucking earth. We scorched earth this bitch. Salt that shit so nothing grows behind it. Don't care. So his lawyer said, Your Honor, I believe as lead counsel it's my responsibility to make tactical decisions. He said that the bloodstain evidence presented at the guilt phase is irrefutable. What the fuck do you want? So he says, quote, this is the lawyer, so he is very seriously handicapped. All right, well, that's one way to put it. For that reason, and my considered judgment, I don't think that if I had to give a percentage of chances of winning in the guilt phase, I would characterize it as 1 in 1,000 at best. We're fucked.
Yeah.
And he's an asshole. Yeah. He said, and for that reason, tactically, I will not do anything that's going to prejudice saving his life in the penalty phase. We do have a strategy for the penalty phase. I won't go into it now. I don't think it's necessary at this stage. So
we already have a strategy for that.
Yeah, he goes into all that. So the judge says, fuck it, we're proceeding with the lawyer. A week later, the lawyer himself makes a motion to withdraw. He's like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. And he does. There's an article in the Sequim Gazette where he stated he could no longer represent Stenson in view of the Stenson's family's dissatisfaction with his job. So he said, quote, this is the lawyer, and right now I'm very concerned about the nature of the attorney-client relationship. Right now I don't feel like I have an attorney-client relationship with Mr. Stenson. I'm extremely frustrated with him to the point of really not wanting to go on with the case. Put a lot of work and effort into this case on his behalf, and to read something like this, something as this at this point, just, it's disgusting. Quite frankly, I can't stand the sight of him.
I can't stand this guy.
He's such an asshole. Now, the blood on his pants that he was wearing, more evidence here. At the time of the murders were an important piece. There's stains there. Obviously, that's bad, clearly. Now, the proteins, by the way, in this show that these particular proteins in the blood match only 2.2% of the white population, of which Frank is in that. So it's pretty sure they were in there. So, and they said obviously they were airborne when they hit, based on the way they hit and all that sort of thing. So The verdict comes in here. They find him guilty of premeditated murder in the first degree.
Shit.
Yeah. Sentencing comes around. Aggravating factors. They found there was more than one person murdered, obviously, as part of a common scheme or plan. He committed the murder to conceal the commission of a crime or to protect or conceal the identity of a person committing a crime. And more than one person as a part of a scheme or whatever.
This is diabolical as fuck.
It's crazy. This is cold-blooded, man, as cold as it gets. And mitigating circumstances are his family came on and said we would like him to not be killed. And they actually disallowed that and said that's not mitigating evidence. That's just you like him as who are you, basically.
Yeah.
We'd have to have a whole trial whether your opinion's worth the shit.
The thing is, the guy's main motivation is killing his wife to get the insurance money, and then he utilized the fact that this guy gave him money and he doesn't want to give a business deal.
Doesn't want to give it back.
So he's getting
just
rid
like
of him
a drug
too.
dealer.
And then framing it like this. This is fucked up.
2 birds, 1 stone, all my problems, all my money, oh no, and look at me, I'm a free man.
It's insanely deep.
Well, they come back with, you, sir, may fuck off, death penalty for you.
Yeah.
Death penalty. You can either take lethal injection or hanging. It's your choice.
Oh, he's got a dealer's choice with the hanging?
Dealer's choice with the hanging. He actually... he has a lot of appeals, but the silliest one that I think is that there's been it's about his defense lawyer. He talks about his defense lawyer basically didn't want to be involved in the case, so therefore, he didn't do a good job. Yeah, and they said that's evidence is good. Fuck you. So 1998, set for execution. Yeah, and the judge grants a stay for 2 weeks. Okay. He has not made his choice of lethal injection or hanging, but I guess the default is lethal injection if you don't give a preference. They just stick you. So November 21st, 2008, he's set for execution when the state's Roman Catholic bishops asked the governor to commute his death sentence. 3 bishops representing dioceses in Seattle, Spokane, and Yakima asked that he receive a life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And
on what
also
grounds? Religious shit, that's it?
Yeah, well, also he comes up, appellate attorneys say that the the prosecutor suppressed evidence of a videotape of one of the detectives he put on the gunshot residue pants.
Stop it.
While wearing a gun belt. So the gun was by the pocket. On the outside of it, not the inside of it, but it had a gun by the pocket, and they didn't show that. So they're saying...
Other question, why are you putting them on?
Why are you wearing them? Just want to see if they fit, I've been looking for a new brand of khakis that would work better for me.
Anybody put on Gaines' skin suit? What are you doing?
Just to try it on. You just try it on. Everybody tries on stuff. That's what you do.
See if it's a 38 long.
You pass it around the jury. See if any of them can use it.
Fuck.
Anybody in your family wear this, you think? So... this goes all the way to May 2012. They still haven't executed him. They actually issue a stay based on the pants. Jesus. The state Supreme Court overturns his murder conviction and death sentence. And then they also say that he's not going to be able to receive a fair trial in that county. So he gets a new trial, and they find him guilty again. Okay. And he's sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, life imprisonment, no parole. And he is there now. So there he is.
Got his life saved by the Supreme Court.
By those damn pants, by some detective's videotape. So
why would you do that, you idiot?
Coke dealing, Taco Tuesday eating ostrich man. Johnny Ostrich, I've been calling him. Johnny Ostrich is out of his mind.
What a story.
What a wild story. That is Small Town Murder Express. Tell everybody, get on whatever app you're on. Honestly, this helps the show a lot. Give us 5 stars. Say something nice. That really does help. When you say something and give 5 stars, it drives the show up the charts. So please do that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Check out all the dates for our live shows. First of all, new shows up that is the Thursday show in Seattle. It's an extra show, and then a late show in Portland that night. So check those out. Shutupandgivememurder.com, patreon.com/crime and sports, where you get all the bonus materials.
You do.
Holy shit, anybody $5 a month or above, you get access to all of it. This week, what you're going to get is find out the main reason for American divorces. We're going to find out the history of fantasy sports in that. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about Kai the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker. Yes. I'm not even going to explain it. If that description doesn't get you interested, I don't know why you're listening to this show. So check that out. It's a wild story, and we'll listen to his interview and everything. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Whole back catalog, and you're going to get a shout-out at the end of the regular show. You want to follow on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Check all those out. Follow us there for all the new updates and information. Want to follow us on social media? There's links to everything at shutupandgivememurder.com. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus